Good Sunday morning, Monarchs. This is Dr. C coming to you from the principal's office on Halloween. A hopefully sunny Halloween will be had by all today, and I hope that you all have a great time as you trick or treat, if that is a tradition in your family, and that you get a great candy haul and you keep all that candy at home to share with your family. Please don't bring the candy to school. We appreciate that. As always, our vision, Coleridge-Taylor Montessori empowers all students to achieve academic success, socio-emotional growth, and the development of global and cultural competencies that will ensure future success. Our mission at Coleridge-Taylor is to provide a safe, hands-on, rigorous learning experience rooted in the Montessori method. In partnership with students, parents, caregivers, and staff, we will support the growth and potential of each and every child. Our core values are empathy, respect, equity, collaboration, and academic success. And our Monarch promise: we, the monarchs of Coleridge-Taylor Montessori, value one another. We honor our differences and show empathy towards others. We respect ourselves, others, and our school. We collaborate as a community and work towards equity. We are empowered to reach academic success and become next generation leaders. Our KDE improvement priorities: number one is to commit to our shared vision, mission, values, and beliefs about teaching and learning, high expectations and rigor for all students as part of a system of continuous improvement. Our second improvement priority is focusing on the school's behavior management system that supports and provides a positive and safe learning climate and culture for all. And three, our improvement priority number three is focusing on purposeful professional development for all staff so that they can support students and our school's continuous improvement. Happy Halloween again. November is going to be here tomorrow. We are really excited about some things that we've got going on in our building. The first thing is please remember, don't bring candy to school. No candy at school. Please encourage your child not to bring candy at school and don't send it in their lunch. Candy is causes a lot of problems for students, multiple ways. Please keep the candy at home. This past week, we started our WIN time. Remember, WIN stands for What I Need. Students were regrouped based on standards and skills that they need. And every person in the building, minus our office staff and Miss Natalie, are teaching a WIN group. I even have a WIN group, and we had a great time getting to know each other last Thursday and Friday. And we are going to be back together tomorrow. Very looking forward to how our students grow in this acceleration opportunity. As I shared last week, Test to Stay began last weekend, and Test to Play will begin tomorrow. So Test to Stay, if your child is identified in a quarantine bubble with a close contact at school, somebody who tested positive, but your child has no symptoms, every night they can go, beginning the first day that they've been notified, to a JCPS test site to get tested. Those results will be communicated to the school by the next morning so that your child can attend school. If your child tests positive for COVID during Wild Health or any other time, they are not eligible for Test to Stay. If your child tests positive during one of the Test to Stay opportunities, they will not be able to come back to school the next day. So if you have questions about that, you can call the main office. You can send me an email. I'm happy to help you through that. Test to Play, there was an email sent on Thursday or Friday from the district to all parents with all the details. So any student who is going to be staying for anything at CTM starting on Monday will have to be tested one time a week if they participate in sports, clubs, ESS, or anything after school. So in the body of the newsletter that I send out, there's more details and some links. Attendance counts. Remember, friends, that school starts at 9:05 a.m. every day that school is in session, and students need to be in their classrooms by 9:05. We have a lot of parents that are bringing their children at 9:20, 9:30, 9:40, 9:50, later than that. Every minute that your child is not in school impacts what we're able to teach them. So, students that have good attendance every day, if they're healthy, again, if they're healthy, will read well by the end of third grade. And if they continue to have great attendance, if they're healthy, They will be able to pass important courses when they get to middle school. And kids who stay in, with that great attendance, if they're healthy, um, do well in high school, they move on to college, and then they succeed in their work life. Too many absences, excused or unexcused, can keep students from succeeding in school and life. How many are too many? 10% of the school year. That's roughly 18 missed days or 2 days a month can knock students off track. And the way that the district tabulates attendance is by minutes. So some students we're starting to see, they come in late every day or they leave early a lot of days. And those minutes tabulate into full day absences. So please know that coming to school when you're healthy and staying in school the entire day is important. Students need to be in school by 9:05 every day. We appreciate your support on this. Some more big reminders, hashtag big reminders. We are still hiring. The link is there. I've talked to a lot of family members who have folks who might be interested. Please encourage them to apply. If you have questions or you need help with the application process, please reach out to myself or Miss Washington. We'd be more than happy to help. I want to give another amazing shout out to parents who have not been double parking and are dropping students off in the car rider line. Remember, if you come to school in a car or your child is transported in a car, even if they're literally or considered to be a walker by the district because they live less than a mile away, you can always drop your kid off in the car rider line in the morning. If you're going to be picking up your child in the car rider line, please let the office know and we can change that transportation. We need to have that transportation change done by 3 p.m. or 2:45. So, but everybody can drop off in the car rider line. It doesn't make a difference. And that is in the back of the building by our gym entrance. Another big reminder, don't allow your kids to bring candy to school. It's against our health and wellness policy. No candy to school. And we also do not accept birthday treats, cupcakes, and that sort of thing. It's part of our student handbook that was shared at the beginning of the year. So please keep those items at home. If you have questions about what kind of snacks are available, please reach out and I will share a list with you. So we are striving to create a safe, empathetic, respectful school community where we all use kind words and kind actions. Please help us by setting a good example for your students and your personal conduct, especially while you're on our property and with our school staff. And so please know that Kentucky state law governs what adult behaviors are allowed on and around school property, as well as what parents and caregivers do and say to school staff. Verbal abuse by parents or caregivers towards any staff person at CTM will not be tolerated. We thank you so much for your continued cooperation as we work to build a positive and safe school community. Again, a reminder, do not send your student home, do not send your student to school sick. If they are vomiting, if they have diarrhea, if they have a runny nose, if they have a fever, stay home. Contact your medical provider for next steps. And if your child is supposed to be on medication, that must be dropped off with the nurse at the main entrance. It must be in the original pharmacy packaging and paperwork must be completed. We have some amazing kids doing some amazing things at CTM. We're really, really proud of how well our kids are doing, especially with this very rough transition back into real school because of the pandemic. We chose a few weeks ago to focus on 3 school-wide rules that we want to make sure everybody is following. Stay in your area, hands, body, and objects to yourself, kind words and kind actions. So we have identified the Monarch 3. If you were with us before the pandemic, you know that we had a very similar Monarch 3 that we kind of followed. And now, based on the needs of our students, these are the Monarch 3 that we are focusing on. These are not the only school-wide expectations, but these are the big ones that get us having to deal with students' behavior issues and where students are getting off track, both behaviorally and also academically. So do us a favor and help remind your kids that kind words and kind actions should only be used at school. Hands, feet, and their bodies should always be to themselves, and stay in your area. We have some students that sometimes are not careful with their bodies and they bump other students and it turns into a conflict. If students are staying in their area, we will have a safer school and kids will be doing better, and we won't have to worry about that second of the Monarch 3, the hands, feet, and body to self. So we talked about last week the rigorous work that we're doing. We are working on developing and increasing the rigor of our classroom instruction, and we have about 10 weeks behind us. So we decided it was time to start win time, which is what I need. And these are acceleration groups. Now, these groups are leveled groups based on what students' needs are for reading this first round. And we use reading data from their reading groups in class and then the MAP test data to know what instructional level they're ready for. So what we're doing is that from 9:15 to 9:45 on Thursday and Friday, and we're going to start again on Monday, kids have a win ticket that has a group on it, and they move to a different location with sometimes classmates from their class, sometimes classmates from their other classes or from other classes with an instructor who can help them with a specific reading skill. So, for example, I have a group of kids who are reading on what we call the N level, which is about third grade. And so those students who are with me, we are going to be working on a specific set of learning and standards so that we can boost that reading acceleration as much as possible. It's very targeted, it's very concise, and we're really excited about the process. We still have some kinks to work out with kids transitioning to and from the locations, but beyond that, it was a resounding success, and we're really looking forward to what is going to happen with our students and their reading growth. It's going to accelerate, and we're really excited about that. As a reminder, if you have a Chromebook from last year, please return it. Teachers are starting to use those Chromebooks basically every day in class. The ones from last year, the Chromebooks from last year have been disabled, so please return that. If your child was on quarantine and has returned, please have that device come back to school with the cords, both pieces, so that we can continue to use them in class instruction. Again, I'm going to keep reminding, TikTok is not good for elementary students. Elementary students should not have lots of time on a device, whether it is a smart TV, a smartphone, an app like Netflix, YouTube. All of those things detract from what is going on in their brains and their growth. Please, please, please curb the amount of time you let your child have access to a screen. Experts agree that waiting until 8th grade is best for students to have smartphones and also for students to have social media accounts. If your child has a TikTok account and they're in elementary school, they are breaking those federally guided mandates about who can have a social media account because you're supposed to be 13. So, in summary, students should not have unlimited access to technology unsupervised, whether it is a cell phone, a video game, etc. Students should not have access to age-restricted social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp. You're supposed to be 13 years old to be on there, and there's nobody in this building that is 13 years old, so please help us out with that. Parents must have conversations with their students about what's appropriate to talk about, say, or do at home and at school, and reinforce those school expectations. Remember, kind words, kind actions. And kids need to spend time at home reading grade level text. We're working very hard in classrooms and in win time to ensure that kids are on grade level with reading. And if kids are not at home reading, they need to be playing outside or completing work sent home for completion or homework if it's been assigned by the teacher. Remind your students that they must report anything that does not follow school expectations or classroom rules to an adult. We ask you to continue to support us at home. We appreciate all the support we've received and will continue to receive. And we know that it takes a village to raise a child. So that's what we are hoping to be, is that village for you. And then as always, reach out if you need help. We have lots of support and resources we can connect you with. And my most favorite exciting thing about this week, as we think about our classroom culture and climate, we had a whole lot of kids that were identified as Student of the Week. So, our Students of the Week for kindergarten, Malaya Lovelace, Preston Booker, and Ronnie Crittenden. Our first grade was Harmony Davis, Jariah Riley, and Jaslyn Snaden. Our second grade, Bailey Basham, Everly Hodges, and Kavion Smith. Our third grade, Destiny Ellington, Bailey Hubry, and Eric Barker. Our fourth grade, Archer Nathanson and Khalees Ezel. Fifth grade, Liam Coleman, Khalil Reynolds, and Mary Barker. And Miss Joyner's and Miss Gree's class, Malaysia Sanchez and Keyshawn Elliott. And then the special area teachers identified 4 students that they felt like needed to be recognized as well. Kion King, Amina Ramadan, and Daymani Gunn, and Elsie Petrie. And all of these students were identified by staff in the building as consistently using kind words and kind actions to their peers. And they are the epitome of what we want to see in respectful and empathetic monarchs. So give them a big shout out. We're really proud of them. So those students were welcomed down. They got a pencil, some erasers, and a certificate on Friday. There were a few that we've got to catch up with tomorrow. But we are really, really proud and pleased with our students. They are doing a great job. Some important dates. Again, win time is every day from 9:15 to 9:45, so attendance is important. On November 2nd, there's going to be a virtual middle school information session. The graphic to the side has the Zoom information on it. On November 12th, there is no school. Again, there's no school on November 12th. And November 15th through 17th, we are going to be having a KDE 2-day review. As part of being a CSI school, we are going to be having that. We'll be reaching out to parents to see if they are willing and able to join us for some of that process. So details will follow on that. And then November 24th through 26th, no school for Thanksgiving. Again, we talked about the test to stay and the test to play option. There are details in these links that are here, but you can also get a hold of that in the body of the newsletter and on JCPS's website. This was also communicated to every family member via email the past 2 weeks. Again, if your child has been in contact with a positive case, they need to quarantine, and you need to let us know immediately. If they are positive, they need to quarantine. If they've been in contact with a positive case, the district has changed some of the rules so that if they cannot quarantine away from that positive case, so for example, if mom or dad has COVID and the child doesn't have any family members they can go stay with so they can be away from the COVID, then the child will likely have to quarantine. Again, Wednesdays, Wild Health Wednesdays, please sign up, especially if your child is going to be staying after school for any activities. They need to be tested. Wild Health Wednesdays is an easy way for that to happen. And all students, until further notice, must wear a mask over their nose and mouth unless there's a mask waiver on file. As a reminder, don't double park on Chestnut Street during arrival. It's unsafe. Do not do it. On Thursday, a car was towed because they parked in our area. Please make sure that's not you. Thank you for that. If you need to check back, the Monarch Messenger link is something that you should have access to every day. If you have questions, please call the school and feel free to email me. I'm pretty quick on the email. If you need something, we're always ready to help. Have a magical Montessori week. I hope to see you around. Take care.